Yes, I was born in Jamaica and I migrated to the USA and I learned body and fender work from Jamaica and I ended up doing it here in America. She lived on my building, the same building I live. So like I get to know her from by she lived on the building, and like when she used to go to the store or something like that, she would stop by me and ask me if I need anything from the store and stuff like that. Other people in the neighborhood they know me, and a lot of people always asking me for favor because I'm I'm a good person. They claim I'm a good man, stuff like that. So she came to me one day and says another neighbor on the building. She went in this neighbor's apartment and used her computer. And the neighbor claims that she ordered something on the computer and she didn't know about it. So she wanted her to pay for it. So she came and asked me for the money to pay for if I could pay for it for her. No, she told me about it. And then I said, how much it is? And she said, like 90 something dollars is what she ordered. So I said, okay, I'll pay it for you. Right. She said, no, because she didn't do it. Right. Okay, I left it alone. So there's that same neighbor now have her arrested for that thing that she ordered on the computer. Right. Anyhow, the court that she took her to is a court that deal with young people, teenagers. She went to court and she had to pay a fine, and she was told that there was something that she was involved in before that she was supposed to be on probation, and she said she didn't know anything about that. Anyhow, but anyhow, I said yeah. So I said, okay, what's the problem? And she said she got to pay a fine, which was small, like $200 fine, something like that. Then when she go back to court again, they come up with something else that she had to pay a fine again. I think that's $300. So I said, okay, I'll pay it because she helped me sometime, you know. Then what happened again? She was arrested. No, they have her arrested for something. When I get to find out, it was the PO, that's the parole officer, who arrested her for something, and got to pay a fine again. I said something is wrong here. Don't the judge know that that this person arrests you more than one time? So the judge say yeah. She said yes, but I have to prove that it's that I didn't do it. And then when you go to court, you got to pay you pay a fine. All right. Yeah, that went on past for a while, and then she, she claims that the system who deal with teenage children, 17, 16, who get in trouble. That's what the court had dealt with, right, so to speak. And they usually like put kids in different schools and stuff like that. So she came to me and she told me about it because she lived with her mother, but that's she don't have no father or nothing like that. Right? So I said, well, okay, I'll help you. If you're gonna go to school, stuff like that. So okay, I'll help. I'll help you since you've been good to me, you're doing favors for me and stuff like that. So the PO says she's gonna get her in school, and she put her in a school where I had to pay like $1,200 for the school that she claims that's what I gotta pay. So okay, I'll pay it for you, and I pay down on it and small payment. Then after that, they took her out of that school and sent her to another school. So I said, well, if she didn't finish that school, so we got to get a refund. I'm complaining now, about a refund. Anyhow, this PO I questioned her. I said, well, how come I paid that money? I didn't get my money back because she didn't, you know. She said to me that the court used the money for something else. I said, that's, I said, that doesn't sound right to me. You know, say the court used some for something else. But anyhow, I started to do my own investigation. Right? I find out the judge's name. I Google the judge's name. There was no judge in the system with that name. Right? I went to the courthouse because she said she had to pay a fine. I went to the courthouse to see if there was when you go to the courthouse, you mention the person, and then they look through the list and see who have to pay a fine. Her name wasn't there. I asked the clerk if they know such a person named Judge so and so. They said no, they don't know this person. Right? No judges there. I went to no, this is the state court, not city, state. So they have her arrested for something again. The PO says she did something again. They have her arrested for that. I said, I'm not paying it because it doesn't sound good to me. I was mentioning it to another person, and they say, oh, that's just a rip-off, that's a rip-off. They try to rip you off and stuff like that. Okay. She's supposed to appear in another court for that thing. So they want me to come to court to certify something, that I paid the money and I didn't get back my money. Anyhow, when I went to the court that they say the hearing's supposed to be at, and you look at the wall and you see, the people name that who's supposed to be there for the hearing, her name wasn't there. And no judge's name wasn't. The judge's name wasn't on that paper either. This time now, I'm doing my own investigation, because I didn't feel right. But other people say it was a scam, but they thought maybe the girl was scamming me, but it wasn't her. So another day I went to the courthouse where the lawyers hang out before they go to the hearing, whichever hearing they're going to go to. There's a big room there where all the lawyers go to. I don't know if you know that, but all the lawyers go to that room before they go to do the paperwork and stuff like that. And the lawyer who's supposed to be defending her, he wasn't there. Then I asked them lawyers inside there if they know this judge and if they know this lawyer. No. The area where at the court where the judges park the cars, I went there and I asked the officer, there's a police that be in guard at the gate. I asked him if he know this judge. And he said, no, ain't no judge here with that name. So I said, something wrong here, And anyhow, something happened again, and they have her arrested for something else that she didn't do. Then I went to the precinct, but no, the each time they arrest her, the fine goes up. The fine goes up. So this time now, when she come and she said to me that they arrest her and for this thing, and she got to pay like $5,000 fine. I said, what? Yeah. So I said, I'm not paying it. Not paying it. You know what they did? They sent her upstate to the female facilities. They call it upstate. It was a state prison, like holding center, because if you can't pay, then they put you in a holding area until either you pay a certain time pass and you didn't pay, then they send you to prison. Right? So they sent her up there, and when I get to find out, they raped her and put her in the hospital. And then they call me and tell me what had happened to her. So for me to get her out of there, you know. Okay. I went to a court hearing that I was supposed to go to, where they told me that the hearing's supposed to be at a certain court building on a Saturday. They want to come and pick me up and take me to the courthouse. Right? I said, no, tell me where the court is, and I'll go because I'm a grown man. And you don't have to come and pick me up. You know? So that's what I did. They gave me an address where the court's supposed to be, and I went there. When I went to that court building, it's a Supreme Court building. And it was on a Saturday morning. And they told me, the officers there said, no court keep here on Saturdays. The only court is there on Saturdays is people who that were recently arrested, and they're there either waiting to be released by the judge or, to face the judge. That's the only thing that keep there. So I said, come on, Anyhow, I went to another lawyer, but this time now, the judge, the assistant district attorney, the lawyer that they assigned to the case, that's their lawyer who's supposed to defend her, he was a part of the system too. And the judge, district attorney, the lawyer, you got the lawyer and parole officer. He had his own court system running in the legal system in the regular courthouse, and nobody knew. Right? And then I get to find out about it. How I went to the precinct to report it. When I went to the precinct to report it, they told me that they can't do nothing about it. I should just stop giving them the money. Right? But at the same time, the people in the court system didn't know that this judge wasn't a real judge. But he used to sentence people too, and nobody knew about it. They trying people, trying children all the time. Lot of, I even know this woman, she had to sell her house to keep her daughter from going to prison. So I went to see another lawyer. And this lawyer now, he's specialized in this field. And he told me, he didn't tell me that is a ripoff. He told me that he can't take the case. But he knew them, and they know him. But he was a regular lawyer, But he know them, but he didn't want to take the case. So what he told me, he says, I don't want to take your money, but what I'll do, I'll send you over there to the precinct again and report it. I went to the precinct. They don't want to take the case because of the judge. The judge, they don't want to take the case. So I went to the Supreme Court, the state court, and want to file a complaint there. What they did, one of the clerk gave me a letter and said, take it back to the precinct. Right? So I took it back to the precinct, and they don't want to take it. It's not they can't do it. I said, okay. So I went back to the lawyer, and he sent me now to the district attorney's office. All right? So when I go to the district attorney's office, I spoke to the assistant district attorney, and he says, okay, must fill out a report and bring it back, and text it to him or email it to him, give me email and stuff like that, and I send it back to him to send it back to him. But he didn't want to do the case, so I went back to the lawyer, and the lawyer called him, called the district attorney's office, and they got him on the phone. And the lawyer tell him, my lawyer now, tell him to what he's supposed to do with the case. And then I make a statement, and I took it to him, and I took one to the precinct. Well, the precinct, they didn't want to take it, so I called him, and he called the captain, and tell the captain that he got to take the case, right? So all these things I'm going through. So they decide to do the case. I get to find out the same person that I made a complaint to at the district attorney's office, that was the same person that was working with the judge. You know, see how things funny? That's the same person that was working with the judge. Yeah. And so he wised them up now about that I made the complaint. No. Now, the captain of the precinct put a detective on the case. I went to the district attorney's office, and about three of them questioned me about the situation, because they don't want to believe it. They said, no, it's a judge so and so. Everybody knows this judge as Judge so and so. And the part about it, all of them were lawyers. They went to school they went to law school. The judge, the district attorney, the lawyer, and another one, the PO. All of them went to law school. Right. So anyhow, when let's see where I was at now. Yeah. So I got to find out that the district attorney was working with the same judge on the case. They put a detective on the case, but that detective they put on the case, he retired, right? So they put another detective on the case. So the other detective, he didn't seem right to me at the beginning, because I was trying to say something to him, and he didn't want to talk to me, and he was like didn't want to hear what I have to say, because like he said, if he want to know anything, he know where to go and find out. He didn't want to hear from me. Get to find out that after they put him on the case, like he becomes a part of them too, right? So yeah. So anyhow, what happened? The judge got arrested. The same girl, they was holding her at a shelter for collection, to collect money from her, which I was supposed to pay. And when he went there to pick his weekly round that he make to pick the money up, she saw him. And then she followed him. She get in a car and followed him. And when he got to his house where he lives, she called the police and have him arrested. They took him to the precinct, and when they fingerprint him, they found out that the name that he was giving them, it wasn't his name. So the judge name that he was using was a bogus name. And he's working in the system with that bogus name. So they found out now that he is so they booked him and arrested him. He had $30,000 that he went around and pick up from these different places, because these kids, what they do, some of them is homeless and some have parents. So what they do when they have them who don't have a home or stuff like that, or a parent or something like that, they send them to these different shelters. the state shelters. They send them to hold them there until they get paid. Right. So the parent would come to the shelter and pay the money for the judge, what the judge charge, and then the judge will go from different shelters and pick up the money. And that's how the judge got busted. And when the judge got busted, we get to find out that the assistant district attorney was a part of it too. Then he ran away. And about a year after, he turned himself in because they was hunting him down. Then the lawyer, two lawyers, one of them, they don't know where he is up till now. But one of the lawyers, he ran away to way upstate. Anyhow, they traced him and found him from the information that I had from his computer, where he emailed me for money and stuff like that. I had all of those stuff, you know. So it was good for me at that time that I kept all of these things, because then they want me to charge the girl that the girl was the one that ripping me off. And I said no, because to me she wasn't that type of person, and she wouldn't be ripping me off that amount of money as a young teenager, you know. So that's how. Then they found this other guy upstate somewhere with about $70,000 that he collect around the place, but he had it in cash with him. Yeah. So eventually the case went on. They tried him, and they tried to find other people. So far I know that the judge, the lawyer, the two lawyers, and the PO, they're all sentenced to prison. They are in prison now, right? And because of I knowing that, and I did what I did, a lot of people who he had sent to prison was released from prison. They don't know that I was the one that caused it, you know. But all of this, you know, because of me, all of this was exposed. So now they are in jail, right? So that's how it went, you know. Yeah. Some of them, they could get lost in the system. And if they know that they have somebody who can represent them and stuff like that, and they can't pay, they send them to prison, and they send them, you know, far away. That nobody, you know, eventually nobody know where they are. Yeah. So that's what, you know, how the system was running. He went to law school. He's a lawyer. Yeah. You know, but from I don't know for sure, but from my understanding that he been doing that for about 10 years. From what I understand, that is about, he sentenced about 100 people to prison. You know, so, and all this time he's doing this thing inside of, because everybody's saying they look at him as a judge, and I don't understand how. Nobody can understand it either. how he get by for so long, you know? Yeah. And then because then the people, then when you say that a judge is doing so and so, they don't believe you. Yeah. They don't believe you, because they are saying that it could never happen. He had the old court room, the officers, you know, the court officers and all that kind of stuff. You know, he had his own computer that the computer there, that all of his cases was in the computer that he did. Yeah. And how they get to find out? Because of the email that they sent me. Well, the girl would end up in prison somewhere, and should have been lost somewhere. Yeah. Then because when I tell a lot of people, some people say, then why are you spending so much money on that girl? But when I think about it, you know, it wasn't say spending money on so much on the girl. But I get to find out that these people are in the system doing this thing, and the system doesn't know about it. You know, this is what I was really concerned about. Yeah. Then people say, well, just walk away. Most people, all they said to me, why are you spending the money? They think about the money. The money come first. The money was a major thing. You know, why the money? Why the money? Why the money? Why the money? You know, and they would be there getting away with these things, and nobody knew about it until I come, and said it's something wrong here somewhere. But nobody else couldn't see something wrong. Yeah. I don't want to blame the girl, which the way it was set up like that, is the girl that was, And I said no, because I'm the one that's paying the money, so I know, because I ask question, and when you ask question and you don't get the right answer, something is wrong. Yeah. You ask question and then the person don't want to give you an answer. They ask question and they turn the story into something else. You ask question and they try to make you like you the question you're asking, you're stupid. These things. So that's how I went on, and continue with the case. The federal government getting it, But they didn't bring me into it. They make up a phony name for me. They thought that was my name. The name that they made up. They thought that was my name. So they wanted us to bring me, have me arrested, tell me to come to court. Because I was supposed to appear in court, and I didn't appear in court, so I am what you call a contempt of court. So they wanted to bring me in and contempt of court, and I would have to pay like $10,000 because of contempt of court. And I said to them, I write them back and say, as far as I know, I've never been arrested for anything. I've never been served a summons or anything like that. So until you can do that, then I'm not coming to court. They want to come and pick me up and take me to court. I said, no, you can't do that. I'm a grown man. You send a paper to me, a summons to me, and I'll come to the court. So they figured that I was too smart. They when I get to find out, they was looking through my records to see if I had a criminal record. Because they could say, well, they're going to pick me up on my previous criminal record. But when they looked, they didn't find no criminal record. Yeah. So I had to be careful with the system. That's how these things happen in there. Nobody believe you. Yeah. The only person I know what I went through with it, and the girl know what she went through. And the other people who were sentenced to prison, they know. So that's it. Every day I say to myself, I said, if I had thought about the money and let her go to prison, could I live with it could I have lived with it for the rest of my life? To know that I could have avoid that situation. Yeah. But I feel good that I did it. Yeah. And I hope that I can be in this position one day to tell it to the whole world, tell the whole story. It's a long story, but I would hope that I could do that. Yeah. So that's it. Right now they are in prison now, and it seems as if they want to get the girl. The the judge and them, they seem like they want to get the girl because right now there's a case going on where they have the girl arrested for something because one of the people, they emailed me and told me that the last thing they're going to do is to make sure that the girl go to prison. They're either going to kill her or she's going to spend the rest of her life in prison. So right now they're still, whoever they are they want to, she's supposed to go to prison or be killed. Yeah, because of what because of because if it wasn't for her, they wouldn't be in prison. You know. But one of the people in there called me one time and talked to me on the phone. They want to pay me off to not give the information that I have. You know, pay me like say about $10,000 to. But I said to myself, but if you are, I said to her, I said, if you wasn't a liar and a thief, you wouldn't be in this situation. So after I spend my money, then you want me to lie and take you out of that situation? I say, don't work like that. That's why the conversation I have with them. I don't work like that, you know. But they tried to have me arrested to call. Said that I call and make harass them on the phone and all that kind of stuff. But when they investigated, I didn't make no call from my phone. Yeah. They were the one that called me. I didn't make any call to them. Yeah. But they try all these different things to. They try to arrest the girl, set her up and arrested her, and investigated and find out that it was a setup. You know. So it's like they're still they're still, as long as they are alive, I think they try different things to get to the girl. You know. Maybe they may try to get to me too because never know. Because of the information I have, well, it's in the information that I have. It's already at the district attorney's office. She's doing better, but I guess she got to be careful where she go and stuff like that. You know? Because they send threat all the time. What they gonna do to her? You know? But I think they have people in the system that that maybe still working in the system that used to work with the judge. If one of them, if one of them would have me arrested for something I didn't do, then I am the one that have to go and prove that I didn't do it. They're not looking at you saying that, oh, that's a person that set me up. They don't see it that way. They say I'm the one that is doing the wrong. Yeah. And another thing, what they do, you see, they have this law throughout the whole America, where if you are on probation and you get arrested for anything, then that go against you, and the people in the system use it against you. Like your parole officer can say something that you set you up for something, and they're gonna go along with the parole officer instead of listen to what you're saying, because they are saying that you're not supposed to be confronted by any police or have any police, thing to do with any police and stuff like that. But it shouldn't be that way, because then by the person who want to get you in trouble, they can always set you up and have you arrested for something. Yeah. And that's what they try to do with the girl. Try to get her arrested for things that she didn't do. Then she got to go to court. Then you got to pay again and stuff like that before they release her. I don't know how I would live with it for the rest of my life. I would have that to deal with, says AM, because I could save her from going to prison. But I'm feeling much better to know that I pointed it out to in the system that other people life was better by me doing that. You know? That's it.